Hello friends, this is Kumar and I welcome all of you to my YouTube channel. Friends, in this video we are going to review a book, David Copperfield, which has been written by Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens, a famous Victorian writer. I hope you know all about him, and not only David Copperfield, but I have read Great Expectations, A Tale of Two Cities, and then there are two to three more books that I have read of Charles Dickens, and he's one of my favorite Victorian author, including Thomas Hardy and George Eliot as well. So David Copperfield, it was Charles Dickens wrote about this, that of all my books I like this the best. And he wrote one more thing, that like all the beloved parents, like all the parents, I have in my heart of hearts a favorite child, and his name is David Copperfield. So you can tell that how much favorite of of Dickens novel this was. I mean, it was his best novel. It was his favorite novel of all his novels that he wrote. And other than that, if we go into the deep, then we will find that it is a kind of semi autobiographical elements in this book, which matters with the life, with the actual life of Charles Dickens. So Charles Dickens was a famous author, as I told you, and there are some incidents of his life which are really related to David Copperfield. Like he also used to work in a factory like David Copperfield did, and he also Charles Dickens also had a mother who used to keep him, who used to ask to work him in the factory that was not liked by Charles Dickens. And another than that, David Copperfield also had to work, but because of his foster father. And there are some other similarities as well in the book. There are so many characters in the books, like Uriah Heep, Thomas Traddles, Peggotty family, and Micawber's family, and his aunt, and Mr. Dick, the doctor who gave him birth, and then Mr. Peggotty, their housemaid, and the foster father, or the stepfather of David Copperfield. I think Mr. Monster, something is his name, was something like that, Mr. Murdstone, and he used to call him Mr. Monster. So there are such kind of characters, and then we have Dora and his father, and his and her aunts. So there are a kind of huge characters in this book, and David Copperfield is a huge book comprising of almost 800 pages, more than 800 pages actually. And if we compare the villain of this novel, so Mr. Uriah Heep is the greatest villain created by Charles Dickens. There is no other villainous character in his novels that we found in David Copperfield, and his name is Uriah Heep. So it is a kind of amazing story, amazing work. If we look at his David Copperfield life, and then at his very young age he lost his father. His mother married someone else, Mr. Murdstone, and when then Miss Murdstone came to their house, who is the sister of Mr. Murdstone, and then their kind of cruelty prevailed in the house. David Copperfield was sent to a boarding school. There he met Thomas Traddles, his friends, and one of his other friends who ran away, taking Emily. So that was kind of longer story. So David Copperfield, he had to go through a lot. His mother died. Then he was sent to a factory where he worked for 1 to 2 months, and thereon he decided to run away to his aunt's. So his aunt wanted to adopt David Copperfield, but not David Copperfield actually. He wanted to adopt if there will be any girl, because she was fed up of men's. She do not want to raise any men. She wanted to raise a girl, but then David Copperfield was born, and he had also named the girl in front of his birth, because she was hoping that there will be and there must be girl. Okay, so but unfortunately David Copperfield was born, and Betsy Trotwood was not born. Okay, so what happened? He ran away from that place. He went to his aunt's. There his aunt decided to adopt him. He sent him to study the law and be a proctor. And he decided to he started studying proctor. Mr. Dick also adopted him along with Miss Betsy Trotwood, who is David Copperfield's aunt. There he met Mr. Spenlow, who was his kind of teacher, and he went to his house one day. There he found Dora, and he found in love. He fell in love with Dora, and their kind of the young love between both of them. They were very young lover, and they were fond of each other. Okay, but somehow Mr. Spenlow was against all these things. Miss Murdstone was taking care of Miss Dora at that time, because they were out of fortune. Mr. Murdstone had already married another lady, and then Miss Murdstone got to know about their love affair. Okay. From there on, we get to know that Mr. Spenlow was against their marriage, but somehow he died in an accident. Dora was lost. Their aunts, Mr. Spenlow's sisters, took Dora to their house, and thereon, David Copperfield decided to go there and talk to their aunts with the help of Miss Agnes. Miss Agnes was a kind of friend to David. David Copperfield was a kind of sister to David Copperfield, but Miss Agnes was fond of David Copperfield, and she used to love him, but she didn't tell him so on his face. Okay, David Copperfield went there. He proposed to Dora in front of the two aunts, and somehow the things were settled, and David Copperfield and Dora were married. On the other hand, we get to know that Mr. Uriah Heep, who was the clerk of in the office of Miss Agnes's father, Mr. Wickfield's office, but he was kind of jealous of David Copperfield and of Mr. Wickfield also. He became a partner with Mr. Wickfield due to his treachery, and that's how we get to know that somehow they were Mr. Uriah had a full control on Mr. Wickfield. Okay, earlier couldn't tell you that the other character there was, who was Mr. Dr. Strong, who had married a young lady of low family, and he sent his brother to some other country like India to work there, but he didn't go there, and he started wandering here to there and spending his doctor's money, and that's how the things were. David Copperfield used to study there at one place, and after all these things, when one day Dora died, and he asked Agnes to marry David Copperfield. David Copperfield was lost. He had all those things, and eventually he after settling all these things, going through up and downs, like Miss Betsy Trotwood once lost her fortune, and David Copperfield had to work and study together, and he had to look after his aunts also, and Mr. Dick also. So there was some kind of trifles between all these things, all these facts, and finally the things were settled. And there was a character, Miss Emily, who ran away, who was the daughter of adopted daughter of Mr. Pagoti. She ran away with David Copperfield's friends, and she spent some time there, and then they got separated. It was a kind of illegal marriage. It was a kind of illegal partnership actually, and in the end, Mr. Pagoti and his his adopted daughter, they went to Australia along with Mr. McGabber's family. Mr. McGabber's has a different kind of story. Mr. Pagoti has a different kind of story. So there are 4 or 5 kind of stories in this novel. Charles Dickens longed this novel just because to increase the intensity of the readers, so that they will read more and more, because it was kindly published in serial form. Okay. So after that, we got to know that everything got settled. David Copperfield in the end married Agnes at last, and told her that he liked her from the very first day, but he was not aware about that thing. Okay, and Agnes also told her that he had liked only one person in her life, and that is David Copperfield. Miss Betsy Trotwood was very happy after hearing all that, and that's how our novel came to an end. So I have told you the story in a nutshell, and if you want to read this book, I think you must read this book if you are a kind of student of literature. And it is a very amazing book, though it is very long, but it will keep you interest all the while in all these pages. Okay, you will not get feel bored after a while reading this book. Okay. So that is all I have to tell you. The Wordsworth classics. I have Wordsworth classic with me, and it is very amazing. Amazing printing, I would say. Okay, so that is all. It is okay. The money doesn't actually matter when we go for a book, but it is of $1. So I think you can purchase this. It is not that much costly. You can buy it from Amazon easily. So, okay, so that was all from my side in this video. I hope you like the video, and if you like the video, if you like the content, then please like, share, and comment on the video, and please subscribe the channel for the such updates. We'll see you in another video very soon. Till then, subscribe the channel and like the video. Thank you very much.